Have you ever had one of those moments where your feelings were so strong, so overwhelming, that no matter how hard you tried, the words just wouldn't come? You opened your mouth, ready to speak, but instead of a sentence, what came out was silence, or maybe just a shaky breath. We all know that feeling, right? And the funny thing is, even though it feels uncomfortable in the moment, those are often the times when people understand us the most. Because emotions have a way of speaking louder than words. And that's exactly what happened with Johnny Depp. A man so famous for his wit, his charm, his ability to speak and perform in front of millions, found himself completely speechless. His words failed, but his heart spoke volumes. Now picture it. The lights are on, the room is quiet, and everyone's eyes are fixed on him. People are waiting for Johnny to say something witty or poetic, something only he could say. But instead of giving them that, he stops. He takes a pause. For a few seconds, the silence stretches across the room. And in that silence, something extraordinary happens. The audience doesn't feel disappointed. They don't roll their eyes. Instead, they lean in closer. Because in that pause, in that hesitation, Johnny let his heart speak louder than any rehearsed line could have. And isn't that something we can all relate to? Think about the last time you were overcome with emotion. Maybe you were trying to thank someone who had done something life-changing for you. Maybe you were standing up at a wedding to give a toast. Maybe you were saying goodbye to someone you love. The words you had rehearsed in your mind suddenly disappeared, leaving you with nothing but silence. In that moment, your body takes over. Your eyes well up, your voice trembles, your breath shortens, and somehow, people still understand. Sometimes, they understand even better than if you had managed to get the words out. Because what they see is the truth, stripped of all polish and performance. That's what happened to Johnny. He didn't need to explain what he was feeling, because his body did it for him. His eyes softened, shining just a little brighter than usual. His lips curved into a faint smile, almost shy, almost apologetic. He took a deep breath, the kind you take when your chest is heavy with emotion, and you need to release just a little of it so you don't collapse. That was enough. That told the story. Psychologists say that up to 70% of communication is nonverbal. Which means most of the time, the meaning behind what we're trying to say doesn't come from the words themselves. It comes from the pauses. From the way our eyes shift. From the way we smile, or frown, or breathe. Words are just one part of the puzzle. And when Johnny's words failed, the rest of his being filled in the gaps. He didn't need sentences, because his heart was already speaking louder than anything he could have said. And here's what makes that moment so powerful. We tend to think of celebrities as people who always know what to say. They're trained, they're polished, they've spent their lives on stages and film sets. We imagine that nothing rattles them, that they're immune to nerves or overwhelm. But that's a myth. Because at the end of the day, fame doesn't erase humanity. Emotions don't care whether you're a global superstar or just a person standing in front of your friends. They come when they want, they take over when they want, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. And that's what makes a moment like Johnny's so relatable. He reminded everyone watching that he's human too. It's interesting, isn't it? We spend so much of our lives trying to look put together, trying to say the right things, trying to come across as confident and polished. But the moments that truly connect us to other people are often the opposite. They're the times when we break down. When our voice cracks. When we go silent because the feeling is too big for words. That's when people lean in. That's when people feel close to us. That's when we stop being characters in a story and start being real human beings. Think about your own life. Maybe you've had a time when someone comforted you without saying a word. Maybe they just sat beside you, their presence enough to make you feel safe. Or maybe someone you love once looked at you in silence, and in that moment you understood exactly what they were trying to tell you. Love, gratitude, sorrow, pride, these things don't always need words. Sometimes words just get in the way. That's the beauty of moments like Johnny's. His silence wasn't empty, it was full. Full of meaning, full of sincerity, full of the kind of truth that words sometimes fail to carry. And the audience felt that. They didn't walk away remembering what he said. They walked away remembering what he showed. And that sticks with people. Experts say there are 3 simple tools we can use when words fail us, and Johnny demonstrated them all without even realizing it. The first is eye contact. Looking someone in the eye can be more powerful than the most carefully chosen sentence. It shows sincerity. It tells the person, I see you. I'm with you. I mean this. The second tool is touch. Of course, in Johnny's case, that wasn't an option in that moment. But think about it, how many times has a hug, a pat on the back, or even just holding someone's hand said more than words ever could? And the third tool is silence itself. The pause. The choice not to fill the air with chatter. Silence has its own kind of weight. It creates space for the heart to breathe, for feelings to sink in. And often, silence is what people remember most. Now, let's be real. Silence can feel uncomfortable. Most of us are afraid of it. We rush to fill it because it feels awkward. But if we can resist that urge and just let silence be, it often transforms into something powerful. That's what Johnny did. He let the silence linger, and instead of awkwardness, it created connection. Instead of distance, it brought people closer. And that's why the moment was so unforgettable. I think the reason moments like this stay with us is because they're rare. We live in a world that's full of noise, social media, news, constant updates, endless words being thrown at us every day. Everything feels scripted, edited, rehearsed. And then suddenly, someone pauses. Someone breaks down. Someone shows you raw emotion. And you can't look away. Because it's real. And real is rare. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you remembered a speech word for word? Probably not often. But what about the last time you remembered how someone made you feel? That's the difference. Words are forgettable. Feelings aren't. Johnny's words may have failed him, but the feeling he created in that room will be remembered for years. And maybe that's a lesson for all of us. We spend so much time trying to find the right words, worrying about saying the wrong thing, stressing over whether people will understand us. But maybe we don't need to try so hard. Maybe what really matters isn't the exact sentence we speak, but the heart behind it. People don't remember the grammar. They remember the sincerity. They don't remember the exact wording. They remember the look in your eyes. So the next time you find yourself speechless, don't panic. Don't think you've failed. Instead, embrace it. Let your heart do the talking. Look the person in the eye. Be present. Take a deep breath. If you can, reach out your hand. Let silence speak for you. Because silence, paired with honesty, can be more powerful than the most beautiful words. Think about it. A shaky breath at a wedding. Tears during a farewell. A smile in the middle of a thank you that never quite makes it out. These are the things people carry with them. These are the things people never forget. Because they come from the heart, not the mouth. And that's what makes them real. And that's exactly what Johnny gave his audience. Not a speech, not a performance, but a glimpse into his heart. And that, more than anything he could have said, is what made that moment unforgettable. Now, I want to ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where your emotions spoke louder than your words? A time when silence said more than your voice ever could? Maybe it was love, maybe it was loss, maybe it was gratitude. Whatever it was, I'd love to hear your story. Because these are the moments that remind us what it means to be human. And if this story touched you, don't stop here. There's another incredible moment, the day Johnny Depp shocked everyone with his unexpected gesture. It's one you'll want to see. So go check it out after this. And before you go, do me a small favor. If this video meant something to you, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss the next story that might touch your heart. Because at the end of the day, words may fail us, but the heart always speaks volumes.